I'm trying to remember what Count Olaf does. I'm gonna cut it out. Don't worry about it.
Well, you cut it all out.
What's my motivation?
What?
I might make some bloopers. You better get going. Hold on. All right. Oh, come on.
Okay. Hello, folks. I'm Rick, and this is the Fundamental Home, and I'm doing this week's manly meal, manly snack. It depends really on how much you eat. And it's for the Frugal family fun. No, what is it? Delete that. What is it?
Frugal family food.
Frugal family food. Frugal family food. Frugal
Yes.
family food. Folks, I'm Rick, and this is the Fundamental Home, and I'm doing this week's Frugal family food collab. I've chosen to do a burrito bowl or taco bowl, and we're actually using chips. You could call it a chip bowl. And it could be a snack, it could be a meal, depending on how much you eat. But it's easy, it's frugal, because we're using just things that we have around the house, things that I can find in the refrigerator. And for the meat, we're using hamburger. It's something that you can buy that's cheap, and just a cheap pack of seasoning, and you can make it very fast after work, and it's good. Just rolling up my sleeves. Let me add that this is a manly meal, and the idea there is just portion size. Man's not going to eat a kid's portion, we're grown. So, and when I think of a manly meal, I think of something like that would, the old-fashioned thing, like it would stick to your ribs, stick to your bones. Kind of like chili in the winter, or a good stew, or something like that. I know others have made things on the grill. They have a lot of meat. They have a meatloaf, a lot of meat. You know, something that enough meat will keep somebody happy. And I'm gonna fry some hamburger here. Hamburger, I said, is something that you can get that's cheap, and not always, but if you look for it and you shop around, you can find it cheap. And it can be used in just about anything. It can, and it's easy. It's almost what's the word? Foolproof. If you overcook it, I mean, it's almost like a beef jerky, little crumbles. It's good. So anyway, wife's laughing at me. So anyhow, I'm gonna put the whole thing in. You got me? You got me. Okay.
There's a fork over there.
Are you filming this? Hold on. I'm just gonna use my hands because that's a lot easier. Okay. Okay, let me break that up. Like I said, I'm using hamburger. So the first thing you want to do is brown the meat. You want to have it ready, because as soon as you make everything that goes with it, it'll go really fast. The longest step is just getting the meat done. And you can't mess it up. That's why I like it. Not mess up hamburger. And it's hearty, it'll fill you up. I don't know too many people who don't like it. And I will say that pretty soon the grease will start popping and everything, and I don't know if it bothers you or not, but I cannot stand grease on the stove. I cannot stand grease on the floor. So that's why I have the towels on the floor. And it took a while for my wife to get my vision, but eventually she got it, and she started to put one towel down. But I don't know if you saw the size of that pack of meat, so I thought that's definitely a 2-towel pack. And once it starts popping, I might upgrade to 3 towels. But the whole idea is just to protect your floor, so when the kids run in to get your taco bowl, burrito bowl, they don't slide across the kitchen. It makes sense. It makes sense. Easy cleanup. Anyway, my wife's laughing because she thinks I sound like a control freak about my towels. But really, I just like an easy cleanup. I like a clean house, and I don't mind making dinner sometimes, but cleaning up, I'll tell you, it's a process. And I'll tell you, after you eat, I mean, I know people do it, and if you do, God bless you, but after you eat and you get full, who in the world wants to stand and do a bunch of dishes? You know, if you're blessed enough to have an actual dishwasher, you know, just thank the Lord tonight. But our dishwashers are in their bedrooms right now. Okay, so while you're waiting for your meat to cook, which is step number 1, now you want to start getting all of the stuff that you need to go with it done, prepared. Because I'm telling you, once hamburger cooks, you understand that. I mean, you're good to go. You're good to go. So I'll start with an onion. And like I said, these are all things that you have around the house. If you don't have an onion, okay, you still probably have something that can go in it. Because like I said, if I don't have an onion, that's just because I like onion. But there's onion in the salsa that we're going to use. There's, tomatoes. There's tomatoes in the salsa. So, you know, if you have more of this and less of that, it's okay. It's just what you have. It's just what you have. Okay. So, I'll cut into the onion. And usually, my wife cuts the onions. Okay. The meat is still brown. I found some lettuce that we had left over, and lettuce will last a little while, not too long, but it will last a little while. If it'll pass, you can just cut off a little bit of the brown, because that happens, that's normal. Some folks, I think they have to have everything fresh, and if that's the deal, and you're scared of it, that's fine. But to folks that are frugal, and just flip it over. And I'm not the expert in how to cut stuff. So you cut it the way you like to cut it, and I'll cut it the way I like to cut it. I just need to actually get it to fit in the bowl. That's all I'm going for. So, ta-da. And the meat is still browning. Okay, now we're on to a tomato. Now I will say this, that there's tomato in the salsa that we're going to use. So if you don't have a tomato, that's fine. I just like a little extra because I like to have more in the bowl to eat. I don't know how you feel about grocery store tomatoes. Sometimes you can get a good one. And make sure you wash it first. So leftovers, you know, I looked in the refrigerator, we had some leftover cheese. Just get a grater. And that is a good topping. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter whatever cheese you have in the house. I like just about every cheese that there is. So, except sliced cheese, you wouldn't put sliced cheese in it. Now you want to drain the meat, fat out. Do your best not to lose any hamburger. So now I'm I'm going to take half of the hamburger that I cooked. You thought I was going to eat all this, didn't you? I'm going to take half and let it cool, and then I'm going to save that for my wife, because that's what we like to do here. We'll cook a lot at one time, and then we'll save part of it for another time, and it makes for a quick meal later on. In fact, if we already had some done, that would have been the hamburger that I would have used in the freezer, because sometimes we'll have already cooked hamburger ready for like a quick meal, like I said. But did not have that, so I had to start from scratch. So now you take your taco seasoning. That's very frugal, very cheap, that you can buy, and it really doesn't matter the brand. It's all good, just the one that you can get, and it just goes right on top of the hamburger. And then you have your water, which I already had pre-measured, right on top. And you stir that up. And stir it good, because nobody wants a mouthful of powder. I think everyone's had that experience at least once in their life. So stir it good. Fellas, I know you just got off work, you're making a snack, you're trying to fill up, you got things going on, and you might get too busy to make sure it's all stirred up. But just take an extra second and make sure that every little bit is stirred up, because that could really ruin your burrito slash taco slash chip bowl. While your meat is cooking down with the seasoning and with water and everything, now the last few items are, I got a can of beans, because my wife has got me hooked on beans now for everything. Never used beans with any kind of taco thing growing up. Mom never did beans, but my wife does, and I tell you, I like it. It makes for a filling snack or meal. Add beans to everything. First, I'm doing corn. I think the first time I saw somebody put corn in something like this, I thought it was a little odd, but it works. I'm cooking the whole can, but of course, I'm not going to use the whole can, so I'm using leftovers to make a quick snack, and then we're going to have leftovers from the snack to use other times, and that's just frugal. That's just smart. Stir the meat real quick. You got the corn up. Now your meat is almost ready. Now the corn is hot. So now I'm going to cook the beans, and my wife has got a can here of black beans that I found in the cabinet, and I'm going to use those. Some folks like to use kidney beans, that'll work. And open. If you like using beans for things, then you understand why I like it. If you don't, give it a try, because you will be surprised how much more filling it makes a meal. Because the difference between a normal snack and say a manly snack or a manly meal is that it's hearty. It's not just filling, it's super filling. You know, ladies like to be full, children like to be full, but you know, sometimes, you know, men can eat. So the idea is, I mean, this is nothing fancy. This is just a lot of items put in one little bowl, and it just fills you up quick. It fills you up quick. This is really, it could be a snack. This is something that you could just eat quick when there's nobody home and you just want to get full fast. Now, what'll happen is you'll do this and you'll get full, and then your wife will come in and say, I brought dinner home. And then you're gonna have to have two. You're gonna have to have 2 dinners, okay? Okay, as you can see, the meat is almost ready, and as soon as my pan here of beans is hot, we will be ready to assemble it, and we'll be done with this week's manly snack. Yeehaw. Whatever. Okay, so everything has been prepared, and we're ready to assemble it. First, I'll point out the bowls here. You see, would be a regular meal, regular snack, okay? But to me, the manly bowl, the manly snack, the manly meal is the much bigger bowl. If it's your wife's surprise bowl, just make sure you wash it before she gets home. But I'll tell you, when you put it together, it's really any order that you like. I would suggest, obviously, that you would start with the meat. Have a nice little foundation of meat at the bottom. I'll just go one more just for fun. And then I would choose maybe cheese first, next. Cheese next. And you can add more, take, less of this, more of that, doesn't matter. Put a few onions on there. Ooh, those are big chunks. Tell you, I won't be talking to my wife tonight. Sorry. And then, like I said, any order that you want. I usually put the beans with the meat just because I think it just goes together. Lettuce I'll put on top. Tomatoes, yeah, I think I'll do the corn next. Do the corn next. And you don't have to use a lot of corn or beans or onions. You really just a taste. Just use a few tomatoes, just a few, because like I said, the salsa, that's where you get a lot of the tomatoes, so I just like enough just to say they're there. The lettuce I'll put on top. I think I'll do the salsa next. If I had had peppers, I could have used peppers too. All kinds of things. This is not a complete list of items. You could put all kinds of things. You could put rice. That would make for a filling snack or meal. It's a good filler. Now, I like a lot of sour cream on mine, but my wife is always reminding me to be frugal. and let it stretch, let it stretch.
Really what it is I want some.
Yeah, right. And I will say that, let me grab some lettuce here, and probably should have chopped up the lettuce a little more. I'll do that since I'm eating this, it's mine. Because, I mean, if you go to the grocery store, you can buy a bag of lettuce. It's all shredded for tacos and things. You might know what I'm talking about. And that's really the size you want. But those bags cost a lot more than buying a head. So you're saving more money if you just buy a head of lettuce and then just chop it really, really fine. Okay, so this is my finished bowl. And frankly, I could even fill it and have it a little higher. I'm gonna leave it like this for the moment because when you eat it, you're gonna want to stir it up. Okay, but I'm not gonna stir it up because it's gonna look, won't look as attractive, I guess. But I will say to eat it, you can eat it a couple different ways. I mean, if your day's not done and you gotta go and get the kids or do something, you might just want to grab a fork and eat it like this. But if you got time, you could use what we've made and you could put it into a taco shell. You could use what we made and you could get a tortilla and you could roll it into like a wrap or something. I have chips here, and you could just have chips with it. That's probably how I'm going to eat it. And you could just scoop it, or, I mean, you could just break the chips on top and then eat it with a fork like that. I mean, sometimes I'll do it that way too. But there's a couple different ways, you know. Whatever tastes good to you, that's how you should do it. That's how you should do it. So a manly meal should be quick. Hey, you just worked, you just got home, you don't have a lot of time, you want to eat, right? It should be quick. It should be hearty, it should also fill you up. And I'll tell you, you've worked all day, you know, it's time for a treat. It should taste good. It should taste good. There are a lot of different kinds of meals that you can make. I chose to make a burrito bowl / taco bowl. Thank you folks for watching, and please check out the other manly meals in the description box.